Guys, what's up? It is Sunday, May 4th, 2025, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. My co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to recap UFC Des Moines, and then we're going to preview UFC 315. We got a special guest for UFC 315 preview, Art of Betting. It's going to come on. I love the nickname, Marcel, that you gave him, so he'll be on with us. That's it. We'll do this for about 45 minutes, and then we'll do the preview. I'll be at the card next week. Can't wait. By the way, what was the last card you were at, like, in person? Do you remember?
That's probably like 2017 Rotterdam.
Jesus. They just don't go to, like, Netherlands anymore at all, man. It's crazy, eh?
I mean, they have nobody yet. They now have, but
yeah, I understand.
It took some time.
All right. I'm just getting the thing set up, and I'll tweet it out. Just give me a second here. Do you mind reading the comments, Marcel, while I just set it up?
Lazy Bat, Bong Rip, sup dudes, what's up, man? For Us to Freedom, hey Zach, what's up? Antoine, what's up, guys? Hope y'all had a great week. Yeah, thanks, man. Hope you have as well. Joe McKenna, what's up, fellas? What's up, Joe? Ghost, RDR look great. Do you guys like the Sean fight, or is there someone else y'all like for RDR? We'll talk later in the show. Andy, what's up, guys? Hope all is well. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Nickal. Colostrum, fire emojis. Antoine, always wanted to ask you, have you guys ever played the Mass Effect trilogy? I haven't.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good question. But I played the old ones for, like, I think it was Xbox 360 maybe, like, a long time ago. Dude, they're some of the best games of all time. I do have the third one for PS4, but I never ended up playing it. I bought it, like, probably 10 years ago. I just didn't have time. I should play it sometime. I have it, like, literally on my shelf here. But, Marcel, they are really good games, though.
Okay.
So they might be worth, considering. But, yeah, to answer that question. Just getting the back end figured out here. If there's any more comments, feel free to finish reading them.
Yeah, Joe McKenna, I gave the card a 6 out of 10. Yeah, okay. I like MMA, says back again. Boys, pretty lame show yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah.
Also says the co-main, though, has all the thoughts. And Tristan says, what's up, good gentlemen, and Sign Collectibles 1. Hey, guys. What's up?
We appreciate all you guys. It was a weird card, kind of. I felt like it was like kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde card, Marcel, where, like, I think the end of the card, the last few fights were pretty, like, a good high of the card, but man, the first, bunch of prelims, just very difficult to watch. And, I didn't really watch the boxing matches this weekend, but from what I heard, the boxing card was, like, I guess the two cards were, like, horrible, Marcel. That's what I've heard from, like, boxing fans. So just overall, like, probably not the best weekend of fights, but apparently the UFC card was better, which I don't know. I thought it was an okay UFC card, but not, like, the best card. All right, give me 1 sec. All right, I think I'm pretty good. I tweeted it out. I'm sure you saw it already.
Yeah.
Cool. Our boy Justin's here as well. Nice to see you guys. All right. Yeah, Marcel says you'd love last fight.
The weather, it's like sometimes it's hot. It was hot like 2 days ago, and now it's rainy again. So
fair enough.
It's never good.
Yeah, I was supposed to start my softball season, I should say, today, but it got rained out, so we're going to play next week. I was supposed to start today, though. I'm excited to start again. Pretty much play every summer, so appreciate all you guys in the comments. Let's get into the card. Let's start recapping it. Yeah, I mean, it was an okay card. I mean, I feel like there was a couple fights I'd watch again, but, like, for the most part, kind of a forgettable card in my opinion. And my picks weren't great either. I mean, that doesn't help. I don't know. How were your picks? Mine weren't that great, man. It was not my best night.
No, my picks weren't great either. I think I hit one dog with Yana Santos.
That was a good dog.
That's it.
I was really considering it last week. I thought it would be like the third round of that fight where, she took her down, but it wasn't like that. I mean, probably like a 6, I think. 6, Marcel?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, because there were some pretty good fights at the end. Well, that's awesome, Tristan. That's awesome. Enjoy that BC Bud, my friend. True, what's up, brother? Craig, what's up? Joe, I think I went 5-7 too. Terrible, really, when you think about it. Especially after last week where we crushed that card. Weird card. A lot of upsets on this card too that I didn't necessarily see coming. Let's just go through the card though one by one. Start with the main event, work our way down. Cory Sandhagen defeats Deiveson Figueiredo. Second round TKO due to injury. He pretty much dominated the fight from the get-go. No surprise here. I mean, even you said in the chat, Marcel, you were like, you were like 100% sure he'd win the fight, right?
Yeah, like I said last week, we were talking about the odds. I was like, I think Sandhagen easily beats him, and it's nothing in disrespect to Dave Figueiredo, but I didn't saw where Figueiredo was going to beat him, and Figueiredo was like initiating the grappling, which I was like, it's not working for you. Why you keep doing it, And he came in bad positions the whole time. I mean, Sandhagen has such long limbs that he can basically even ground and pound him when he has a stretched leg. So I mean, I don't know what Figueiredo's plan was, but didn't look good. And yeah,
Yeah.
Sandhagen won. I love that he corrected Bisping. Like Bisping was like, yeah, and then he's like, no, I know how to play the 50-50
Yeah,
position. If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna play that, you're screwed. So yeah, good win for Sandhagen. I disagree with him that he should be next to fight.
I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah,
People just are forgetting about Peter Yan. They both beat the same guy. I understand that he got a finish. Yan didn't, but Peter Yan's also on a 2-fight win streak. Cory's on a 1-fight win streak.
yeah.
Now I know the argument people are going to say is, well, Peter fought Merab and lost a clear decision, which he did, and he also lost to Sean. Although I think most people thought he beat Sean. I also feel like those fights were, especially the Sean O'Malley fight, was 2022. It's 2025 now. Like, I feel like Peter Yan should get the next fight. Like, now they're talking about Peter Yan and what's the guy's Marcus
Okay.
McGee. That just doesn't. If he really needs to stay busy, I guess. But like, it's just odd, that Cory would jump ahead of him. I don't agree with him.
The only luck Cory has is that he hasn't fought Sean and he hasn't
Yeah.
fought Merab,
Yeah,
and Jan
I
did.
agree. I
So-
agree. It's too bad Umar's not around because, to be honest, Umar and Jan is a really good fight. But Umar's
Yeah.
injured, guys. He's got a broken hand. It's not healed up. By the way, just to look at some numbers, Cory Sandhagen outlanded Deiveson Figueiredo 54-6 in significant strikes, 92-8 in total strikes. They both had 2 takedowns. So Cory got taken down again, which that's still a hole in this game. He did get taken down, but again, he reversed it.
Yeah.
Was able to get top position. He had over 5 minutes of control time. He fought a great fight. I mean, Cory's a great fighter. We all love Cory. We love Cory in the podcast. I pretty much would pick him against anyone except for probably I would pick Merab against Cory. Would you?
I'll pick Jan against him as well.
And Jan too. I mean, they did fight and he won.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can make the adjustments to beat Jan. Peter Yan's very good. I think people forget how good Peter Yan is, Marcel.
People really do, yeah.
They really do. He is. I think Peter Yan
And the UFC does everything to make people forget. Yeah.
and Peter Yan. I mean, listen, like he kind of did it to himself with the illegal knee, but it completely derailed his career, that illegal knee.
Yeah.
Because just say he won that fight, right, where he didn't get DQ'd, then it completely changes the history of the sport. But even after that, the second fight with Aljo was a very close fight. I know Aljo had a lot of like backpack decisions. I have no problem with him winning that decision, by the way. But then the O'Malley fight was competitive, but I think most people thought Piotr Yan won, and then he gets smoked by Barab, but everyone gets smoked by Barab. Since then, beat Song Yadong and Figueiredo. By the way, Song Yadong also called out Cory Sandhagen. That fight was 3 years ago, I think. I remember I bet on Cory. It was a competitive fight, Marcel. That fight was competitive, and he ended up getting a TKO due to, I think it was a cut stoppage.
Yeah,
right?
Sandhagen busted him up at a certain moment.
Yeah, but it was a competitive fight. Now,
A
I
lot.
don't know if Song gets that fight, but I don't think he's, that far back either. So now I think, Cory could get this backup role potentially. Now, I will ask you this too. Why are guys so, like, they want this backup spot so much? You probably won't fight. Most likely you aren't going to fight. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to ask for it, but like, people are acting like this is so good, you probably won't end up fighting.
Unless you got good money for it, I wouldn't do it,
I remember, didn't Vicente Luque say he only got like 20 grand or something in that one fight with, was it Covington Usman? I know he missed weight for that too, by the way, but it's not that much true. I think it's like, I think Luque said it was like 20 grand. They might have, upped it.
I don't
Was that
know
what it
how
was,
much
Marcel?
it was. I don't know how much it was, man. I don't know.
Hold on. Back up. I'm going to Google it. I think that's what he said. But maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's more. I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it wasn't too great. Let's see here.
Yeah, and it's not a ticket to next in line, Garrett, because
That's what
remember
I'm saying.
when
Luque never fought for the belt. He never fought for it.
look at Gamrot,
And Gamrot. It's not bad. I don't blame him for asking. I'm just saying, like, it's not like just because you get that. Gamrot was also a backup. Which fight was it? Islam and Charles?
Yeah, and then Volk got it.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It's not guaranteed. Anyways, by the way, our boy Garrett's in the chat. What's up, Garrett? Go hit a bong for us too, man. We'll get high, brother. But yeah, anyways, guys, yeah, it was a pretty dominant performance. He got a bonus. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say it was like a robbery. He got a bonus instead of some other guys, but like I don't know if I would have given him the bonus, honestly, Marcel.
I,
Cory's won a lot of bonuses, first off. And
I,
go ahead.
I have no problem with it, but I was kind of surprised that he got a bonus over some other guys or girls.
I think there was other people that could have got it. Like I think D-Rod had one of the best knockouts in the card, didn't get it, and then Julian Robertson, guys, I think she has the most finishes, right? For a girl, is that what they said? Most female finishes?
Yeah.
She only has 2 bonuses her whole career. And she's the most finishes for a female. She keeps getting ripped off. They need to go, you know what, maybe next week I'll be able to ask Dana about this, Marcel. I'm going to try, if I have the chance to ask him if they would ever consider a finishing bonus. Although there's no point in asking because they're never going to do it, are they?
Can you say it again? I wasn't paying attention.
I know you weren't. A finishing bonus. I should ask Dana about it, if they would ever do that instead. Give everyone who gets a finish.
I mean, why would you? Because he's not going to do it,
Yeah, I know. What's the point of asking, right?
Dickhead.
Hopefully I do get a chance to talk to him, though. Probably being back and fire, try to get a viral moment. Yeah, I mean, but we'll see if it ends up happening. What's up, Dana? Congrats, RDR. We'll talk about RDR in a sec. Do you think we'll ever see O'Malley Sandhagen? It's a good fight. I mean, I don't mind seeing it. Now, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think if O'Malley wins, it opens up a lot in the division. But we'll see. Islam ducked. Gamera, I don't care what people say. So risk your press. I've asked Dana tough questions before. The UFC likes me, man. I mean, they don't have an issue with me. So, but yeah, I mean, I know they've banned people. I don't think they're gonna ban me. I'll be okay. I'll be okay, guys. I appreciate you guys. Looking out for old Uncle Adam here, Marcel. Are you breaking a fight or something?
No, I wasn't.
No worries.
It was a fun picture with D-Rod screaming in the camera, and then Ponzinibbio behind him with the referee, who was like kind of wobbly, and then in the left corner was music, I'm Still Standing.
That's funny. You really think that Cory should get the title shot? Tell me why. Tell me. I would love to know, because why? Like, why does he go ahead? Cory's ranked 4th, right? Peter's ranked 2. So why does he jump ahead of him? And it's not like you're the only one saying it. A lot of people are saying this. I don't see it. Is it just because this fight just happened last night and Peters was it November?
I don't know. I also don't agree with it. So
yeah,
I like Cory a lot.
Cory's great, man. He's awesome. He's a great fighter. 22 undefeated fighters have lost. Wow, it's crazy. They like Okamoto too. I mean, he worked for their television partner. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Brett was he asked about Power Slap. That's Dana's baby. I'm not asking about Power Slap.
Yeah, but didn't he also ask him about him slapping his wife or
something? Oh, that's what he asked him. No, it was about that Power Slap.
Yeah.
No, I think he asked about actual Power Slap too. But yeah, very awkwardly paced. Fresh matchup. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. That's probably why they want to do Jan and McGee to get it and see if McGee is the next guy too. The rankings don't matter until they do. I mean, Khalil's one example, but there's a lot of other examples where the higher ranked guy got the title shot. Now, I mean, I'm not. Listen, if they gave Cory a title shot, am I going to cry about it? No, because I love Cory, but I just think Jan probably deserves it a bit more. Cory's only on a 1-fight win streak, guys. 1 fight in a row. Can we just settle with? I don't mind this rematch at all. Like a rematch? I love it. It's perfect. It's actually perfect. The first fight was the fight of the night. It was for the interim title. I don't mind it at all. Cory did the UFC assault by taking the Umar fight. Yeah, that's true. All right, are we good with the main event? We were a week down.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go, Marcel. Your boy, your countryman that you doubted, Reinier de Ridder. Fraud checks, Bo Nickal? Ooh, what do you think?
I don't know, unless you think Reinier is a fraud.
See, I don't agree with that, really. I don't think he was a fraud. But I think Bo got exposed. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people call it fraud check. I had my friend who's a casual fan message me. He's like, yo, bro, Bo just got fraud checked. So this term is going around. People are starting to use it, the casual fan.
It's a casual fan term, in my opinion. So.
Listen, I was wrong about this one, obviously. I actually thought the UFC was doing Bo like a favor by giving him this fight, because if you watch Reinier's fight with Gerald Mercer, I know he did drop Gerald at one point, but like his stand-up looked so bad in that fight, like arguably worse than both. But at the same time, he improved, man. And also, like, it's like he filled his frame out better too. He looked okay at the weigh-ins. He looked Like he cut a lot of weight. Both guys I know cut a lot of weight. Bo talked about it. It's a 40 pound. I don't know if he was joking or not, but apparently. And then Reinier filled out well. He looked huge, 6'4" for middleweight. Obviously,
Bro.
former heavyweight, right? In one championship, light heavyweight, right, Marcel? Or middle? Actually, wait, sorry, it's light heavyweight's different. They don't cut weight, right? So
Pretty
it's a
much
little
light
weird.
heavyweight and cruiserweight or something.
Yeah, it's a little different in one. But anyways, listen, I knew Bo's striking would be questionable because as far as technique goes, because the Paul Craig fight showed it, but I still thought he would get De Ridder out of there. Now, the first round, I'll get your thoughts in a sec because I want to hear you talk about this. But the first round, like, Bo got him down. As soon as he got reversed, though, I'm like, oh, fuck, he's in huge trouble, Marcel. And you saw right away that he didn't know how to respond to the adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second round, just classic Dutch-style knee to the body, just like his boys from Glory Kickbox, the promotion, Marcel, and all those guys like Overeem and who else? Rico Verhoeven, who's another Dutch kickboxer, Marcel.
Yeah, so many. You have Bonjeski, you have Schild, you have Arts. So
Peter Arts,
back in the day.
He died, right? Peter Arts?
No, that's Peter Smith.
Oh, okay, my bad. Or who's it? Who's the other guy I was thinking about that passed? There's another
Andy Hook.
Andy Hook, that's the guy. He's Swiss.
He's Swiss.
Yeah, he was a really good kickboxer too. But yeah, I used to watch him in like Pride and stuff. Anyways, guys, like I was wrong about this one. I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong, dude. Reinier looked amazing. Like for as bad as Bo looked, Reinier looked amazing, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked really good, man.
I want to hear you talk because he's your guy. Go ahead.
He looked really good. I mean, when I saw him at the weigh-ins, I said to my friend, like, it looks like straight out of Auschwitz, He looked really bad. I mean, I was like, damn. Yeah. And, man, he looked good, man, in the octagon. I didn't expect it. I'm honest, and I'm happy he did, good win. I mean, quality win. The thing is, like, a lot of people are now thinking about him fighting the top 5. I'm good with that. At the same time, he beat the undefeated guy with a lot of hype, but the dude wasn't ranked. I don't know how the UFC looks at it. I think it's a big win in my opinion because a lot of people counted him out of the fight, and he clearly won. He finished him.
Yeah.
At the same time, how does the UFC look at this fight? Are they like, okay, now we're going to give him like a top contender in the division, or are they like he fought somebody who we weren't that sure about after the Paul Craig fight last time?
That's possible. I was thinking about that too because you know what? He went from all these pay-per-view fights to a fight night card. Now they're saying, well, it was in Iowa and whatever, but it is kind of strange that he went from didn't he open UFC 300 with Cody Brunt? Was that the opening card?
Main card, yeah.
Now he's on a fight night card in a co-main event. Like, and again, I understand the whole Iowa wrestling connection, but to me, that was something that was in my head too. So I don't know how they think about it, Marcel. It's a great question, but you know what? I would imagine that they do think it's a good win. I would.
For sure.
Now he calls out Strickland. Do you think he gets this fight?
I don't think so, but hey, if he gets it, I mean, why not? Strickland.
I don't mind if they do it.
Strickland's not going to get a third fight with DDP, so he has to fight someone, So
truthfully, like, and I love Strickland guys in the podcast. I've been talking about him for years. But Marcel was the one guy who was like Adam, was all over Strickland back in when he was at the beginning of his run. That seems like a good main event for an Apex card. I hate to say it, but it does. They could put him on pay-per-view, maybe.
They have trained before, so
I know they'd have. So I don't know if you saw the press conference. De Ridder talked about it. He said he's like, I've trained with Sean, and he's like, I really like Sean. He's like, he's such a funny guy, but like, I want to fight him because I think it's a good fight for me. So, who do you guys favor in that fight? I mean, I'd imagine Strickland would be the favorite. He's obviously ranked higher. Do you think De Ridder has a chance to beat him? I would think he does, right? Yeah. I knew De Ridder was good because I picked him against Gerald Mearshart and Kevin Holland. So I knew he was good. I didn't think he'd win this fight because I thought the wrestling, would be in Bo's advantage. It wasn't. Bo was out-grappled. That's the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
That's also why I went to Bo's side in this. And that's why I think against a lot of other guys in the division, he has a very good chance, So
yeah, I think you even said last week, you're like, if it was just striking, I would take even De Ridder, but because there's wrestling, he could take him down and hold him there. But it wasn't like that. I will say Bo, he kind of crumbled at the first sign of adversity. That's not a good thing looking forward. And he's 29 years old too, so I wonder like how much can he get better? Like as far as his striking and overall game goes. He's obviously an American top team. Fight Oracle, a guy that I really like on Twitter, talked about it a little bit last. I don't know if you saw his tweet. He basically said that Bo's management has screwed him a little bit because he only fights like once, maybe twice a year. Like he doesn't fight that often. You know? Do you think that he should have been fighting more often the last couple of years?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's not that long started in MMA, right? He basically came from the Contender Series where he was 1-0, I think, when he started.
Yeah.
So I think he fought in Island fights or something before one fight.
He fought in like icon fights.
Icon that was,
yeah,
not Islands, yeah.
But in Florida, I think, right? Yeah. But yeah, I remember when he came up. Anyways, like we'll see if he can bounce back. But I mean, this is kind of a rough loss. Gets finished to a guy that was ranked but at the bottom of the division. But I really do think like this is probably a fight that opens up people's eyes to RDR. He looked fucking incredible, guys. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was a mix of RDR looking amazing and Bo looking pretty bad, after that first, like, probably 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, we've seen some holes in his game throughout, like, the Paul Craig fight, but also even the Cody Brundage fight. Cody had some moments in that fight, too, Marcel. Even, I hate to say it, but what's that guy's name? Jamie Pickett? He had a couple moments in that fight, too. So, you'd seen some holes, but again, because of the pedigree and because he's training an American top team with the best coaches, you thought that, he would show something, but just gets completely destroyed. This is a good question. The UFC winner loses both losing. I mean, potentially they won, Zach, because if RDR becomes their next star, I think he's got a lot of good qualities to become a star. What do you think, RDR, potentially being a star? What do you think?
Yeah, why not? But I think the UFC would have preferred Bo Nickal, to be honest,
They
because like sure. The American guy,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Reinier has credentials
outside he's good on the mic, too. He's got good English and everything, and
yeah.
Obviously, amazing, grappling pedigree, and then, dude, the knee to the body was incredible. It was a nasty fucking knee. A lot of people say Bo quit. I don't know, bro. I mean, I've been hit with the knee to the body. You just crumble.
Twice.
Yeah. So I don't know if he quit. He just got smashed. But yeah, I mean, like, you also wonder in training, like, how much is he getting even hit? Because it just wasn't a great reaction. Think RDR could be a star in pay-per-views? Potentially. I will say this, too, about the UFC. Like, the UFC, the 3 letters are the star, really, when you think about it. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. I liked how he looked, man. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Bo's been active. Seems like a marketing strategy. Pay him well. Yeah, and he obviously makes a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. I was thinking about this, too. What do you think would be next? So, I think for RDR, a ranked guy, the top 10 makes sense. But for Bo, he needs to bounce back. You like Finney?
They're not going to give him Finney.
You think they'll give him like Robert Valentine, maybe?
They're going to give him somebody like maybe the winner of Marc-Andre Barrios against Silva this weekend.
Maybe the loser of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the loser or the winner, one of the two. Somebody like that is going to get the fight.
Maybe, what's another fight? Someone said Gerald Mearshart. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking even, what's the guy's name?
Jose Medina.
Oh my God. Is he still on the roster? You know what? They actually, I hate to say it, they could do that. They could. I think he was cut, though. The other one was thinking Rodolfo Vieira. I think that would be an interesting fight, kind of. I think Bo probably wins that.
Or the loser of Zachary against Dusko Todorovic.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to give him an easy fight, guys. They have to. They really do have to. I don't think they'd give him Oleksiejczuk. Do you think they would do that?
No.
They should get Dumas out of jail and then do Bo and Dumas. That would be fucking jokes. I don't mind the Torres Finney fight, honestly, guys. Anyways, yeah, well, we appreciate you, Daniel. Sorry, guys. I know there's a lot of comments. I'm trying my best here. There's a lot of interest in this fight. I mean, I think, you know what? Like, you go on social media, dude, everyone was talking about this fight last night. Everyone's talking about RDR right now. It was an incredible, finish. 212 on fight day, RDR. Okay, so he's cutting like 30 pounds. Okay. Kaio and RDR. I don't think he would take. Kaio's waiting for a title shot, I think, at this point, probably, or he would fight, Imavov or Strickland. Cannonier Allen work. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about Cannonier. I don't mind it. I don't hate the Strickland fight. I mean, I really don't hate it. I think call your shot. I don't mind it. So people are talking about Bo going to 170. I don't think he can make the weight. I think the Ritter's just a massive middleweight. Really, I don't know if Bo can make 170. You think he could?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I mean, we heard the rumors. Medina's still on the roster. Guram, Jusei, and Tavares. You know what's too bad? Brad Tavares isn't around because that would actually have made sense, to be honest. You know what I also think? They released Brad Tavares this week. I think his contract was up. They didn't re-sign him.
No.
I think that it was also because they didn't want him breaking Bisping's record. Did you think about that? I thought that was part of it potentially.
Yeah, you think?
Potentially. Bisping's one of their top guys. But I also feel like I love Brad Tavares because he was great over the years to bet on. Brad Tavares by decision. It was great bet, Marcel. But he never won a bonus. He had 26 fights. He never won a bonus. Not the most exciting guy. He was probably making like $200,000 probably after 26 fights. They can sign 10 guys for contender series for the same amount of money. It's the truth. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Reese makes sense. I don't mind that fight. You like that fight, eh, Zach Reese?
Yeah.
Atiba Gauthier, there's no way they would do this fight. They love the Gauthier guy. And he's only 22, so he actually has a ton of potential. Could get better.
They're gonna give both somebody who they don't care that person loses.
Medina, I think that's too much of a drop off personally, but I do think that Rodolfo Vieira looked really bad against Petroski on the feet. That's a winnable fight for Bo. Now if Bo loses to Rodolfo, I don't know. We'll see. But it was a rough loss last night.
What about Andre Muniz?
That's a good shout. I like that one. I like that one too. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he was released after that last terrible performance. But it makes sense. To be honest, Marshall, they probably should have. I think that Paul Craig. Listen, I know he has the win over the GOAT, Magomed, and Hill. I feel like going from Craig to now that looking back. Going from Craig to the Ritter was too much of a jump. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
At the same time,
yeah,
you got to give him. Listen, he wanted somebody ranked, so you got somebody ranked.
Craig beat Muniz actually. Now they think. I remember I bet on him in that fight too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chris Weidman actually would have made sense. I hate to say it, but it would have. Maybe they could bring him back to fight him. I think Tavares was a financial choice, probably. But I think the record maybe. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But all right, let's go to the next fight here. D-Rod knocks out Ponzinibbio third round. Kind of a weird fight. Like first round, clearly D-Rod. Second round, so first round, D-Rod actually rocked Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio was on Queer Street for a second, Marcel, wobbling all over the cage. Second round, Ponzinibbio actually, I think, came back and won the second round. Third round, the betting lines flipped. They were flipping like crazy, and then Ponzinibbio was looking good, and then bang, out of nowhere, D-Rod knocks him out. I really did think he'd get a bonus, actually. I think it was a really good knockout. Nice comeback. Not a comeback. I guess it was a 1-1 fight. I think the scorecards were 1-1, right, for this?
I have no idea. I don't think the fight wasn't amazing, in my opinion. But
it wasn't a great fight, but the finish was beautiful, I thought.
Yeah, the finish was great.
Yeah, I'm going to check this. I just want to see what the scorecards were.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, for D-Rod, obviously, it's a nice win. It gets him someone decent probably in this next fight. And then for Pons, is that it for him, you think? Time to retire?
I don't know. Maybe one more.
I don't think losing to Ponzinibbio or to D-Rod's a bad loss by any means, but it's just
no, it's also not good.
He gets dropped so much. D-Rod was actually up 2-0 on every fight, on every card, and all the people in the comments are saying it was 1-1. So the judges had it 2-0, and I think it was potentially that way. It was close the second round, but anyway, it was good for D-Rod. Back-to-back wins after losing 3 straight. I don't know what's next for him. You said Max Griffin's looking for a fight. Maybe
Max Griffin said he has a fight booked. So.
Oh, he has a fight booked. Okay, there you go. And I don't have to tell you guys what card he's going to be on. You can guess. After last week's discussion.
Yeah, I think so.
But maybe the winner of Court McGee and Chiesa, could they do that, D-Rod? Maybe that fight?
Yeah, why not?
D-Rod versus Jeremiah Willis has a fight booked, right? He's fighting Andreas Gustafsson.
Yo,
Dan, what's up, man? So that's half battle, Dan Levy. Dude, Dan, so we actually, me and Marcel, we watched your podcast with Cory.
Yeah, I told him.
Oh, you did? Okay. Dude, it was fucking hilarious, Dan. So go give Dan's podcast a follow, guys. He does a good job. Obviously, Dan's been doing it for like over a decade now, probably, So he's an OG in the game. But it was fucking hilarious, him and Cody. They talked about the Jeff Molina scandal. I don't want to say what Cody said. I want to get canceled. But
I was laughing so hard, definitely, because Dan thought he was going to say that at first, and then he said something else, and Dan was like, okay, cool. And then he was going to say it like 1 minute later. Dan's laugh was great.
I was fucking dying, dude. It was so funny. Cody's a joker. By the way, Dan, I don't know if I've had so many people message me and ask, "Are you Malcolm Wellmaker's manager?" I think you probably got a few DMs about it too, Marcel? Like, Malcolm's with Dan Levy.
And I mean, that is like a good spokesperson for Malcolm, man. That's for sure, But yeah,
Oh
Malcolm
man,
did great, man, last week. What a win!
I've literally had a few people ask. They're like, "Is he managed by Dan?" I'm like, "No, that's not." I think he commentated his first fight or something. So, yeah, Cody's a G. I like Cody Durden a lot. We'll talk. That fight's next month. It's in Atlanta. He's fighting Jose Ochoa.
Yeah.
So, bro, Malcolm told me I should get into management. Dude, I mean, like, why not? Like, so Danny Rubenstein was, a fan a long time ago. I remember I actually talked to him in UFC Montreal way back in the day. We'll talk about Montreal after, but the Condit GSP card, I met Danny there. He wasn't a manager at the time. He was obviously closely connected to Sean Shelby and some other people at the UFC, but he got into it. So, I mean, you can get into managing. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's something to think about. We all like you, Dan, here, and
Sure.
you're pretty charismatic and stuff, man. But yeah, check out his podcast. It was so funny. I was laughing so hard, man. Yeah, I don't mind this fight, but I really feel like Randy Brown should get a ranked opponent after that knockout. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't mind it though. I mean, it's a fucking banger. Sandhagen should be next up, David. They could do it. I mean, it's very possible. I still think Jan and Sandhagen too makes sense. Winner gets the title shot. I just think it makes a lot of sense. The truth is, guys, like whoever wins from Marab and Sean, they probably don't fight until like December. I would think. Is that right? Like Marab has not really had a break since he's been the champ. He's fought. This would be a second fight in less than a year. So he's making good money. But
if Sean wins, he probably fights again in 2026. So
Sean probably won't fight again for the rest of the year if he wins the belt back. Anyways, let's go back to the card. Just an absolutely fucking terrible fight between Montel Jackson and Daniel Marcos. Montel won. Horrendous fight. Like literally the most boring fight probably I've seen this year. And that says a lot because this card has a few other ones. Marcel, nothing happened in this fight.
Like, man, I like I said, I was confident Montel was going to win, but
nice pick. I took a shot on the dog. I was wrong for sure.
Yeah, but Daniel, I don't know what he was going to do.
What performance was this? Like, and the only thing he did was really try to control him on the ground.
Yeah.
That's still whole Montel's game, I would say, though. He did get controlled a bit. It's not good, but
this fight looks so much fun on paper, and it sucks so much in real life.
Bro, I was actually like when I was getting ready to watch the card yesterday. I'm like, I kind of because there's so many fights. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a banger, and it wasn't anything like that. What's up, Andrew? Glad to have you here, man. Let's go back to the fights. Another fight that we had a consensus dog. We were completely wrong with this one. Series City Canadian. I shouldn't have went against my fellow Canadian here. City defeats Smotherman decision 29-28 across the board. First two rounds, he looked unreal, City, and then the third round, Smotherman took over. I think a little bit late after City got tired because he grappled a lot. Dude, City looked. This is like City 2.0. Like he looked great. Don't you think for the first two rounds?
I wonder if City looked great or Smotherman didn't do anything.
Smotherman didn't do anything either. Yeah, it was a weird fucking fight, bro.
So hard to say, man. I think, listen, man, City hasn't looked really bad in the UFC, to be really honest. He got screwed, I think, in his first fight. He got lucky in the second one because I thought he lost that one. Yeah. And this one, he won clearly, I mean, it was a good win for him, At the same time, Smotherman, I think he woke up after 10 minutes for some reason, and he started fighting in the third round. Still, one judge gave the third round to City. I don't know why, but I mean, I
thought Smotherman edged it out a little bit. Yeah, City did have that submission attempt. I think it was a Darce or something.
Yeah. True.
But Smotherman landed more damage. I think he won the third round, but it didn't matter because he needed a knockout.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, good for City. Again, I was surprised he's not on the card this weekend in Montreal. I think he should have been on that card. Same with Robertson, but for some reason they put him on this card instead. All right, City, the only Ukrainian fighter in the UFC. I mean, he is born. I believe he's born there, right? Obviously represents Burlington, Ontario.
Durham.
Who?
Nikita Krylov.
Victoria? Is he?
Marina Moroz.
They're not in the UFC though anymore, are they?
Marina Moroz still in the UFC, dude.
She is?
Yeah, I think she is.
Really? Oh, I thought she retired to do OnlyFans.
Yeah, she does that full time, but she's still in the UFC. I think that's
Moroz is, but Krylov doesn't represent Ukraine anymore.
UFC is hobby for Marina,
Marina's lost 3 straight fights. She hasn't fought in over a year. She's basically an OnlyFans star at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krylov is, but Emisov. I don't know what's going on out there. I mean, they told him to take a fight. He beat was it Millender? Is that who he beat?
Yeah, CFFC, right?
Submitted him, I think, and he still hasn't been signed. It's a little odd. They should bring him in. I mean, Amosov would. I don't know if he's, I'm not sure if he's what Nick and Sean are looking for, quite frankly, but I think he's a really good fighter, But again, he is a grappling first guy, and it seems like unless you're Bo Nickal, they don't tend to sign those guys for some reason. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Mason Jones, Jeremy Stephens. The first 2 rounds were like probably 2 of the best rounds of the year. Just back and forth brawl here between 2 guys that were coming back to the UFC. And then the third round, I think this is what cost him fight of the night, was Mason Jones going to the wrestling and just basically holding him on the ground for 5 minutes. I don't blame him, though, because, even he said, he's like, I can't trust the judges. I don't know what they scored it. And he's right, I think most people had 3-0. I did.
Yeah.
But there were some moments where Stephens did land some damage that, like, who knows what these fucking judges saw. So I don't blame him for going that, but I do feel like that probably cost them bonus. And I still think even with that third round, I think they should have got a bonus for fight of the night.
Got to give the judges some credit last night because
they were great.
Pretty well. And that for a state the UFC doesn't.
Bro, the judges were on point. I think they got every decision right. They were really good. They were very. Not only did they get Marcel, not every decision. I think they got almost every round correct except for maybe City and Smotherman.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think every other round they
that great. Almost never happens. So I mean,
they were give them credit. You know what? Good call. Because usually we are like these guys suck. They did great last night. And I don't know who half these judges were. I'm like, who are these people?
True. By the way, a great fight, man. I mean, and listen, people booing Mason Jones. I'm like, you guys should be happy he fought the first 10 minutes the way he fought because he could have made it a fucking boring decision. Yeah. You saw in the third round how he fought,
He could have had takedowns right away.
Yeah. I think he probably should have finished Jeremy, to be really honest, in the third, but I mean, overall good performance. And the thing is, he had 4 UFC fights before, only one against Onama, which is pretty good win now, if you look back at it. He only won against Onama. He lost against Klein. He lost against Mike Davis. And he had the no contest against Alan Patrick.
He was dominating that fight, by the way. Alan Patrick quit in that fight. He straight up quit.
Yeah, so it was pretty much 2-2, but he lost against 2 really good guys, in my opinion. Good win for him, The only thing that kind of sucked is maybe that he didn't get the finish over a tough veteran. But, man, he looked good. He won all 3 rounds, in my opinion.
I thought the Dragon looked phenomenal. I've always liked Mason Jones, and I think this was good matchmaking, personally. 2 guys coming back to the UFC. Now, I know that Jeremy signed a 1-fight deal. I know his record really, really sucks. He actually tied the most losses now with Clay Guida. But, can they give him another fight? I don't mind at all. I'm not going to turn down a Jeremy Stephens fight. And they could do. Has he fought Drew Dober yet? That would be such a good fight, wouldn't it? Would you like that fight?
Yeah, why not?
Dober, even Bobby Green, someone like that, like a veteran. I think they should keep him on the roster. Now, he might
Jim
go back
Miller.
to BKFC. Jim Miller and Jeremy Stephens actually, to be honest, I actually think he could win that fight.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I say give him another, if he wants. I mean, it's up to him because, he might go back to bare knuckle, but it was, the first 2 rounds were phenomenal. So much fun to watch. So, Paul, glad to have you here, my brother. My mate, I should say my mate. He's British, Paul. I think the judges were, Marcel is bang on. They were good. Yeah, we'll talk about the Peterson fight because they were good on that. Mason hasn't improved. I don't know, man. I think he looked really good.
I don't agree with that at all.
I think he looked great. I really think he could have went to the wrestling anytime, and he just chose to give the crowd a show. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yep. Chandler and Stephens, I don't mind this at all. What do you think?
I do. We don't need any of those 2 ranked, to be honest.
He doesn't deserve to fight a ranked guy. Manuel Torres and Jeremy Stephens is fun. I'm still kind of hoping someone like Manuel steps in this weekend, but we'll talk about who BSD can fight in the next podcast. Yeah, he's got 19 losses. He's 1 away from breaks. Maybe they'll let him go and just be like, we don't want you to break the record. All right, let's get back to the card.
So we basically have 2 teammates with the most losses, girl and man, or women and men, like Stephens and Hill, right?
Yeah. Mason, he did. He got beat up at points, but I mean, he also beat up Jeremy. He landed double the amount of strikes. He had 8 takedowns. He took
risk in the fight.
Yeah, he wanted to give the crowd a show choice, and I just think I'm not saying you're wrong because there's obviously some holes in his striking defense. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt, but I really think he wanted to give the crowd a show. We'll talk about BSD on the next show, Paul. I know I just brought it up, but I do. I just want to finish these prelims. We're almost done. We're going to go 10 more minutes, then we're going to go switch over to UFC Montreal. Let's finish up here in the prelims. Gianna Santos defeats Miesha Tate. I mean, not a great fight. Third round, Miesha made it interesting with the grappling, but I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, this is going to be Holly Holm and Miesha Tate again. By the way, Miesha Tate actually said that she asked the UFC to fight Holly Holm. I don't know if you heard that. She asked them. They said that they had released Holly Holm, so it was too late at that point, but she said she wanted to fight Holly. That made more sense than this fight, to be honest with you. Nice pick here by Marcelo with Gianna Santos. But I just thought, what happened in the third round where Tate got the takedown in the back control, I thought that's what made sure would do the whole fight. She fought such a stupid fight, standing and training with a superior striker. What was she thinking?
She tried to take her down for a second, but were like sloppy takedown attempts, and Yana was able to keep it standing.
Fair.
She was much more sharper stand-up than Tate was,
Gianna's a decent striker. I mean, she's she's an okay fighter, I think, Gianna. She's like bottom end of the division.
Yeah.
The rankings. I don't really want to see Miesha Tate fight again. Do you?
I'm also not interested. And I think the UFC isn't either if you put her on the prelims,
They put her on the prelims or a random card. Like, I mean, that says it all. I don't think she should be in the UFC anymore, personally. They released Holly Holm. So why wouldn't they, feel the same way with Miesha? She probably makes a decent amount of money. She's been in the UFC for a long time.
For sure, yeah.
She's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. I mean, she is one of the, biggest names in women's MMA. I don't have an issue with Miesha as a person or anything like that, but I think at this point, she barely fights. And other than the Julia Avila fight, which is not really that good of a win, Marcel, she's looked pretty bad since she's returned to the UFC, in my opinion. I know she beat Mary. Okay, Mary Renault was a good one. Mary Renault was 45.
42 or 45.
I think she was. I think she was the oldest fighter at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe she was younger. I don't know. So, okay, actually, you know what? It was 2021. She was 44 when she fought her. So, yikes. Not good. Anyways, I don't think Miesha's looked very good lately at all. All right, let's go back to the card, finish up the prelims. Asmat Bakoyev destroyed Ryan Loder. Is this a fraud check? Because you picked Ryan Loder. What do you think?
I was thinking, what is Ryan Loder doing? He was like keeping his chin up, and it was like he was trying to let Bakoyev outpunch himself. But Bakoyev at a certain moment outpunched himself, but then he found a second wind and he still knocked him out. So it was like
I thought he punched himself out too for a second. I really did.
I was like, "What are you doing, man?" If I knew he was going to fight like that, I would never pick Loder. I was thinking Loder was trying to get it to the ground and be dominant there, but no, we started to strike with him. I was like, "What the hell are we doing?" But
it says he attempted 4 takedowns and was unsuccessful, all of them. So I mean, give some credit to Bakoyev here.
For sure.
Great win for him. I know you've picked against him both times now in the UFC. Are you going to pick against him in his next fight, or is it just going to
depend on who he's fighting, dude?
Fair enough. But you still have some questions about this guy.
It depends who he's fighting, dude. If he's fighting Cedricus Dumas next, I'm probably picking him. You know what I mean? If he's fighting Oleksiejczuk, I'm probably picking him, for example,
He wants to fight, I think, pay-per-view, he said. Isn't that what he said? Pay-per-view slot. I guess they could put him on the prelims of the pay-per-view. I don't mind that.
Yeah, so he will fight in Apex next, UFC.
Probably. I don't mind. If they can turn him around quick, they could throw him on like maybe Newark or something. That would be fine. I don't mind that at all, or even International Fight Week. I think he's going to get potentially quote-unquote fraud checked at some point, this guy. I don't know how good he really is, but nice win. And he got a bonus. Yeah, he got a bonus. And well-deserved, in my opinion. And against Zach... Okay, he didn't get a bonus against Zach Reese, but he got a bonus for this fight, so... 2-0 in the UFC, 2 knockouts. Next fight here, Jillian Robertson fucking destroys Marina Rodriguez. TKO punches second round. Retires Marina Rodriguez. Jillian Robertson, the Savage, 4 straight wins, 6-1 since she dropped to strawweight. Calls out Amanda Lemos. Do you like this fight?
Why not?
I like it.
It's like she's pretty much going after like all the old girls in the division. I feel like and Lemos is still high ranked. Lemos lost against Verona, and then what was the last fight she fought again?
Was it Mackenzie Dern? I think she beat.
Yeah, she fought another one recently. Who was it? Lucinda?
Lemos? Yeah, Lucindo. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had her as a consensus dog, me, you, and Alex.
Yeah.
When she fought her.
Yeah.
I can't believe forgot. It was right before Ankalaev won his belt.
It's possible, because she already fought for a title. I don't see her getting a second title shot soon. Lemos.
Yeah.
So
no, for sure.
Why not?
I don't mind it. By the way, I'm looking at Jillian's record: 13-6 in the UFC with 10 finishes.
Yeah,
I like her, man. She's the Savage is such a good nickname for her, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah, she looks good since she dropped down to 115 for sure, because she was still like 125, 150, 125. Yeah, she can fight Lemos next. I have no problem with it. I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and Marina retired.
Yeah.
7-6-2 in the UFC.
I like Marina. Kind of awkward interview afterwards. I felt like,
Really weird.
yeah.
Asking the UFC for money for like to donate it or something. It was just really weird. And
I really like her, by the way. She's one of the nicest people I've came across in MMA, by the way, Marina. So
yeah, no,
but,
I don't have an issue with her. I think she's cool. She had a nice run between 2021-22. She beat Amanda Hebus, knocked her out. Michelle Waters and Gomez, Mackenzie Dern, and then she beat Yan Janen in a pretty close fight.
and then she laid an
egg
egg against Lemos. Yeah.
I also thought she beat Carla Esparza. Personally, I thought she did win that fight, but it was close. And yeah, I mean, she had a nice run, but yeah, I mean, 1 in 5 in her last 6. I think she stepped away at the right time. But you know what, Marcel? After the first round, she pretty much quit in this fight. I would say at some point, you know, she just was broken, a broken fighter. I shouldn't say quit. She was just broken, mentally broken. She said she literally retired after the fight, so she wasn't there mentally. And yeah, that's it for her. Dean Thomas and Goatshed have Jilly Dallin. Dude, she's looked great. I mean, she's looked phenomenal. She should probably be on a main card, you know? Do you think Jillian could be a champion? I mean, I don't know. I don't think her striking's good. That's the problem. But her ground game's incredible.
She can beat definitely some girls in the top of the division, but I don't see her beating Zhang, for example. I don't see that happening.
Marina versus Andrade. I think Andrade deserved that one. That was at 300.
I was close. Could go either way, in my opinion.
For sure. And same with actually, a lot of her fights were like, she had 2 draws too. A lot of close fights, but solid career, you know? Solid career. Yeah. Quang Lee submits Gaston Bolaños. Is this a fraud check?
It depends on how high you were on Gaston Bolaños, you know? I mean, for me, it's just like 2 okay fighters, pretty much, you know? I think Kwang did well, and he really needed that win because he lost his first 2 in the UFC.
Yeah.
Although the first one was on short notice against Chris Gutierrez. I think the Xiaolong fight looked really bad. But yeah, good win for him, you know? And he choked him out.
Yeah.
Kwang needed the win. Happy for him, he got the bonus. I will see Bolaños back probably. Yeah, I think, you know.
Gaston he's 2-2 in the UFC. I think he did get another contract probably after that fight with Romeus, maybe. But again, you know, maybe we should. I'm not saying you actually, just probably me. I shouldn't have been so. Not that I was super high on him in this fight. I was like, I don't want to bet it, but you know, beating Romeus doesn't mean a whole lot. Maybe that other guy that beat Romeus, the Korean guy, what's his name?
Chang Lee.
Yeah, maybe he's not as good as maybe people think because beating Romeus is not that good of a win, guys. You know, good for Quang Lee. You know, if he had lost, he would have been released, in my opinion. I think so. So, Thomas Peterson, he has a really good performance here against Don'Tale Mayes, but just, you know, Don'Tale should not be in the UFC. I mean, look, he landed 3 significant strikes in 15 minutes. Thomas Peterson had 9 takedowns. He had 14 minutes of control time. The scorecard's 30-25, 30-26, 30-26. This is, dude, they have to cut Don'Tale Mayes, right? There's no way he gets another fight, right?
We said that about the last 2 fights with Don'Tale Mayes. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he gets another one. Maybe, man, it probably has to do it because he is like the training partner of John Jones. I don't know why he's being. They even had him fucking ranked at a certain moment at 13.
Yeah.
You know, and then he fought Walter Walker and he got completely exposed.
Yeah.
It should be a Don'Tale for Don'Tale, you know. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to see him fight again personally in the UFC. But
and by the way, Thomas Peterson has now been called Jefferson. And Steven Peterson.
So actually, I forgot I was going to make a joke about Steven Peterson. This being called, you call him Steven, former UFC fighter Ocho. Yeah, I mean, get the guy's name right for fuck's sakes, guys. Come on. Thomas Jefferson. It's almost like a running joke. Actually, I put that out. You know, your boy Keith Schillen respond. You see what he responded? He said they're going to call him Steven Jefferson next fight.
Steven Jefferson.
Anyways, do you think the UFC re-signs Peterson? I think so. I mean, they need heavyweights, but they did let Romanov go, so maybe they'll let him go. Yeah. I don't know. You like Wellmaker and Quang Lee? I don't mind this fight at all. You know, and Quang didn't take any damage. They can probably turn around quick. They got to get Malcolm on that card. Obviously, they got to get Malcolm on that card. By the way, Dan, our boy Antoine in the chat, he's from Atlanta. He used to work at the arena, so he'll be at the card. And obviously, our good friend Marcus Williams, I don't think he's in the chat today, but he's going to be there too. And then obviously Dan's going to be there. So we know 3 people that are going to be at that card, or so at least, plus other journalists. But yeah, I think it's a good fight, Dan. I don't mind it at all. Why do you think Mick Maynard likes Bakoyev so much. You got a personal call from Mick. Did he say that on his Instagram or something?
I don't know, maybe.
I think they probably want to get him a fight book quick because he took no damage. I would imagine, right? Is there a middleweight that fell out coming up? Maybe
Not
something
that I
fell
know. Not that I know.
out. Maybe they want to put him in Azerbaijan. Do you think maybe they could put him in that card potentially?
Possible. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't mind him in Newark though because he wants to fight in pay per view. I don't mind it at all. All right. Last fight. Julian Miller pulls off the upset against Ivana Petrovic, who I think probably gets cut from the UFC. I mean, just you can't lose this fight. And not a very good fight either. Marcel opened up the card. Back-to-back fights that were kind of snoozers to open up this card. I mean, yeah, the OnlyFans that we should have known, Marcel. The OnlyFans was the clue. So she gets the win. It saves her career too, I would say. I think she probably would have been cut too. So, I know you didn't really enjoy this fight because we talked about it. Yeah, it wasn't good. All right, FaceTime call over the 50K. That makes sense. Craig actually hit on Miller. Our boy Craig's in the chat. Love you, Craig.
He hit on Miller.
He picked her in
Okay.
Pool, in the pool that you got knocked out in. The Atlanta card, I mean, it's not done yet, but I mean, the fights so far are pretty good. There's the Teresa Blader fight shouldn't be on that card. Jamie Lynn Horst, that's so it just doesn't fit the demographic, as we say. But you said Max Griffin. Is that what you were saying? He's on the card.
I didn't say he was on the card. I said he had the fight.
Sorry, but
I'm not sure. So
that makes sense, though. I think, anyways. And I think didn't they add a fight this week? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they added. Oh yeah, was it Chiesa and McGee? Maybe that was last week.
Yeah,
that fight's official, so that's on UFC stats. I saw it. Miller should not lead the Apex. Probably should be on that card. All right, we're just at 50 minutes. Do you want to talk about PFL or no?
No.
Okay, I watched PFL. It was such a snooze fest, guys. When Phil Davis is the highlight of the night, you know it's a snooze fest. There's not a whole lot to talk about here, but yeah, it wasn't too good. And yeah, all right, let's end the podcast here, guys. I'm going to tweet out the new link in a minute. We're going to do UFC 315 previewing. Art of Betting's coming on to be with us. So give me a second, guys. We'll tweet it out. Anything else you want to say, Marcel? You're good.
I'm good.
All right, guys, give me a minute. Tweet it out. We'll do the UFC Montreal preview. What's up? Appreciate everyone joining us.